Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Three Soul Talk. It's the Aiel Talk Show with all the chaotic stabby love. I'm Rob, the Togo Wetlander, and joining me this week is Bain&Chiad, One Shelly, back from her Jane fast riding escapades, and Roof Mistress Leigh-A. Oh, we all getting our daggers out? Is that what's happening? Is that the thing right now?
Love.
Stabby love. Oh dear.
What happened to yours, Leigh-A?
I haven't glued it yet. The tip is not all the way out. You know,
Oh, that's important.
Yeah.
It is important, yes.
You need the full tip in there.
You need the full tip, yeah.
Sometimes daggers have trouble fully extending.
This is true.
There's
So,
medication for that.
Yeah.
We're starting the Melindhras early tonight. I love it.
When she's not here, we have to try extra hard to make up for it.
This is very true. Yes, Mel can't join us.
Extra hard. Sorry. I have not been drinking before.
We're doing great.
Yeah, I'm like, we've been drinking. Like, are we starting like that already?
Yes. It's summer beer time.
Yeah. It's summer beer time. I like that. That's a good answer. So, I feel like we should need to get to Shelly last because she's going to tell us about her adventures. But Bain&Chiad, how are you this week?
I'm great. I ordered myself a box of cookies and it arrived today. So I'm going to have one after the show. I figured people wouldn't want to watch me eat them while I was here. But
You figured wrong.
Yeah,
I could do a cookie review live.
exactly.
Ooh, yes.
They're loving the comments here. Extra hard. So.
Exactly. I said that on purpose, for sure.
Yep. Hello, everyone in chat. I love this. I don't need medication. That's good, Village Mattress. Glad to hear that. They're loving the hair layer. That's a nice little segue.
Amazing.
Leigh-A, you got someone attacked you this week, it seems, but stylishly so.
Yeah, there was a little dagger action that, like, again, I'm having dagger problems, so. But yeah, got a little stabby stab to the hair.
It looks beautiful.
It's a little shorter than I was anticipating, but I still think it looks great. My gal did a great job, as she always does. And
I feel like there's a theme of hair happening on the. I mean, except me, obviously, but sort of like down here and like some curls and waves and
Little red highlights. Yeah.
Yeah. So
this is the Aiel thing to do.
So apparently, I need a wig.
Don't they say like if you spend enough time together, you start looking like each other? Maybe that's what's happening.
I'm not.
So Rob, I don't know how to explain you.
So I sent this selfie to this. We've got a group chat going on. So on Saturday when I got the haircut, I sent a selfie to these lovely people that I podcast with. And when I saw the picture, I was like, oh my God, this looks exactly like Bain&Chiad's haircut.
Well, I am flattered.
Yeah.
Oh, I loved it. So yeah, like, okay, I'm fine with copying her. It's not a bad person hairs to copy, so it's all good.
Like, I feel like I could start just swapping all your names around, and anyone new to the show would be like, oh, I thought that one was Bain&Chiad, but it's Roof Mistress Leigh-A.
If I had my glasses with me, I could be Shelly.
I've had more than one person say that I look like you, and I'm like, that's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to
Well,
me.
we even have the same nose piercing.
That's
I don't
true.
know. People
we
probably
didn't
don't
notice
see
that
that.
till we met each other.
Yeah, because it doesn't really translate on the screen, but at JordanCon, and it's on the same side too. Yeah.
We are the same person,
honestly.
Basically,
in
in
Apparently-
many ways.
Noma Garden says, so Rob is a pet.
No, I even don't have.
No.
Oh, gosh.
That's a nice way to put it.
It's a nice way to put it. One Shelly, how have you been? You're in a new space again.
I am back in my old space again. How have I been? I mean, Australia was lovely. Cad was a gracious host. It was a really nice time. Mostly I was doing some work while I was there. Like, it wasn't a vacation. I was just, I have an opportunity to find new work. And so I was like, the work I do in the Threefold Land, I can do from anywhere. So I figured, why not apply for jobs from anywhere? And it was great. Drank a lot of wine, ate a lot of food. experienced an Australian winter. Where I stepped into the ocean and wore a t-shirt most of the time. I was very confused by this winter.
It's harsh.
And
it's very harsh.
Yeah, it's very, very harsh. And if you saw my tweet on Twitter this week, I met quokkas, which are the most adorable, beautiful animal on the planet. And so that was definitely the highlight. Was other than getting to hang out with Kev and being in Australia, meeting the quokkas was definitely the highlight of the trip. They are adorable. You can actually take selfies with them. They encourage it. They're the cutest little animals, and I wanted to bring one home for Toronto, but I couldn't. So, but yeah, Australia is wonderful. If anyone ever gets the chance to go, I highly recommend it. Give yourself a minimum of 3 weeks. It is a big country, and eat all the food while you're there. And they have the best coffee. I will give Australia that hands down. Their coffee is excellent.
I am also going to back that up as well. And thank you, Leigh-A, for pointing it out to me. I was going to bring it up at the end of Shelley's sentence. To Green. It's great to see you live.
I was just thinking of her and missing her because we were tweeting at each other.
Oh, we do miss you. If you want to just come and hang out, you can just we'll send you the link. You can hop on.
Yeah, you can hop on. We miss you.
You're always welcome.
Still one of our showmates.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We love you so very.
And we were talking a lot about your counterparts.
Yeah, we are. Actually, we have a video, so we can have some fun. But we'll that's another. We're segueing well tonight, so I love this. This is very impressive. Let's segue into Fear the Spear,
alcohol.
folks,
it's not me.
Where we'll start doing that video at some point. So.
Fear the Spear.
Did I say Fear the Spear or Daily
You
Veil?
did.
Oh, fuck it, Daily Veil. Let's do that. Too much booze. Calm it down, Rob. Here we go. Spear brothers and sisters, it is time to cover up your face, for the wheel of time has news, and we shall dance the spears rings. This is the Daily Veil. All right, folks. New music. Most of you can hear us okay with this. I've turned it slightly quieter than I had last time. So, to Grady say no, she's in gym clothes. Look, I'm sure you in gym clothes looks, far better than you think. So don't worry. Yeah, as Leigh-A's saying, you never look terrible. So blame it on the alcohol. Yeah, we're having fun. All right, folks. What was the first thing for the Daily Veil this week? What do we want to start with? There's a few things, but there's nothing just like bam.
Should we do the video last because that will cause the most discussion probably?
Yeah, because then we'll get into talking about it. That's a good point.
I forgot to bring up Rafe's video. The Twitter that the Wheel of Time folks, I think we
yeah, 1 second, I can grab that. So
background real quick while you're doing that.
Yeah, go for it. You can intro it and I will bring it up.
Rafe posted earlier this week about a video that the Wheel of Time team had collaborated on. And it's a LGBTQ positive video, but it's describing the atrocities that have been happening in, I believe it's the Chechnya side of Ukraine. And thank you. Okay, I'm like remembering this correctly.
You are remembering it correctly.
And it is very heavy. So we're not going to show the video. It's 15 minutes long. It's definitely worth checking out, but make sure that you're in the mental mindset, especially if you are a queer person and you have been attacked in your life, and you have fears about your safety. So big spoiler alert. It is set in somewhere in the U.S. One of the members goes to an Ivy League college, or one of the characters goes to an Ivy League college. They're doing this camping session with a brother and sister, and shit happens. Is a really understated way, casual, probably inappropriate way to say it, but and they start the video talking about some of the don't say gay laws that have happened in Florida. and that is one of the ways that countries like Chechnya, like the Chechen side of Russia, and Russia, that you're just not allowed to talk about being queer, and how persecution slowly evolved. So
Yeah.
we just wanted to bring it up from our favorite producers, our favorite showrunners.
Yeah, I think I saw it first when Taylor tweeted it out, Taylor Napier, and I
and
didn't.
he stars in it.
He does, yeah.
Who is obviously gay, and he plays the brother.
Mhm. Yeah, it is a very heavy video, but an important message to realize that things like this happen. So yeah, if you
And
have the spoons and the time,
Yes.
definitely recommend watching it.
Yep.
So okay, next up, I have to remember our list now because there's a few things we're chatting about. What should we go for next?
The tweet.
The tweets. There was tweets.
There was tweets.
There was tweets. Which tweet? This
The
tweet?
book tweet.
The
Sure.
book tweet.
Either one.
I mean, that one segues into what we're doing later, doesn't it? So,
That is
folks,
true.
just remember this tweet from Tall Books, saying we've all had to use our books as bludgeoning weapons before, right? Sorry, there we go. So here's helping you decide which one to use with this list of science fiction, fantasy doorstoppers that you can pitch in a pinch. That sounds like fun. Now updated to include the first binding by Ara Verity, something like that, on sale now. Those are some well-used books, well-loved. So remember that for later, folks. Leigh-A's got a book on the go. Love it. But there was this tweet by the Innkeeper last night. I feel like I've got to stretch up. No, not going to work. So there was no Dusty Wheel last night. There we go. No Dusty Wheel last night. But maybe 2 shows next Wednesday. That seems like a decent trade. Why is the Innkeeper doing 2 shows? 2 shows next week, 2 shows next week.
He's doing 2 shoes.
I mean, I feel like he normally wears 2 shoes
Only
or 2
normally
boots.
wear 1 shoe.
Yeah, 1 shoe, 1 boot. Gets him. Make sure he's always in the half of the boot zone.
Oh, is he doing the 90 where he needs to have a slipper on hand to throw in case like there's a first group around?
I mean, quite possibly. So, but yeah.
Some
tweet.
people think that he is full of shit and that he's hashlighting us. Other people think that it has something to do with the animated shorts because they were supposed to be released in August and it's getting towards the end of August. So
This is true.
Hashlighting is a word now?
Hatchlighting. That's
Mhm.
correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is a verb that
It's-
we use.
Yeah, it's something that Matt Hatch does to the mods on the regular
Yeah.
basis.
Okay.
And now he's doing it to the entire fandom, basically.
He is, yes. So Beth has suggested she bets he's going to have a midday show with a cast member, or oh my god, maybe Wraith dream come true. So okay,
Yeah.
that's the bet.
I think
Do we have any other
whatever,
ideas what might happen? I'll do a poll.
whatever happens during the day is going to be really, really exciting, and then the show at night is going to be talking about that. That's my prediction.
Yeah. So
Why
we
else
could,
would there be 2 shows?
we could have a casting announcement. We could have a release date. We could have the shorts, or I don't know.
A trailer? Dare
Well,
we
oh,
think that there
wow.
could be a trailer? I
A
don't know.
teaser. Maybe
Why
a
not?
teaser.
Teaser,
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like if there a teaser, yeah, if we got a teaser, the Innkeeper, I mean that's quite a thing for him to know about in advance. But in the same breath,
I do feel
doing
like
2 shows about it makes sense.
I do feel like the show gives him he doesn't know things weeks in advance. Like sometimes it's just like, oh, by the way, here's something you should do. He's like, whatever the Innkeeper version of fuck is. He never uses that word. But like insert appropriate Innkeeper terminology there. He's like, goodness gracious, we have to deal with this.
Oh my word.
Oh my word, yeah. I hope the Innkeeper's not in here because I
We need to
Lauren,
ask
like
him
this,
this. What
said
is his
to-
replacement
How does
for fuck?
Yeah, what? Yeah, can you imagine just say that? But hey, Innkeeper, important question before we get going on your Fear the Spear. What do you say instead of fuck?
There was an
You
article. There was an article in Tor.com this week about swear words in fictional worlds, and for some reason the article did not mention Robert Jordan. And I was like, "Come on,
Really too bad.
that is
Robert
like the
Jordan
best."
was one of
That's
the
a fail.
original fake swear words
Yeah.
in fantasy.
Fortunately, the commenters corrected, but it was still, regardless. I was like reading the article, waiting for them to come up with blood and bloody ashes, and I was like, "What the heck, man?"
Kate Mellon says, I don't think the innkeeper exclaims at all.
He doesn't
Yeah,
really. You're
I think
right.
that the innkeeper's way of saying, oh, fuck, is
Brother Sips.
Brother Sips. So,
Oh my gosh, the roast of the innkeeper continues.
yes, indeed. As
Come back on our show. We're great.
yeah, as a few people said in chat, like that was some of that roasting was real light, and then when the innkeeper did like the, I don't know, the anti-roast in return, I was like,
Oh,
someone teach the
I
innkeeper
was
how to
like
roast.
live tweeting, commenting while I was a little bit tipsy. I kind of went back and deleted some of my texts because they didn't make sense. But the one that did make sense was that he was just so polite to the people. Like he went through and individually commented why they were amazing, and he appreciated their comments on what they said about him. It's like,
Yeah. Glenn is pointing out some of the things we're saying are more cursing phrases rather than swear words, which is true.
Yeah.
But I do enjoy like Blinded Fools forking shirt balls.
Yes,
we were
you missed,
good place.
you missed the holy, but you know, yeah, very good.
We were
So,
literally saying today how much we love that show.
We were, yeah.
yes.
and for those of y'all who don't know, it's a good place. And if you haven't watched it, it is a very positive, uplifting show.
Mhm.
And it's intelligent, it's fun, it's quippy. It's only 4 seasons, so
Yes. And
It's
speaking
lovely.
as someone who started watching it at the suggestion of someone, I can't remember who suggested I watch it. It took me about half a season before I was like, I'm actually into this. It was very, for me personally, the first half season was a bit like, I'm kind of just watching this because I'm laying on the couch and there's nothing else I can go and put on. And then by the end of the first season, I'm like, I'm interested. I want to see where this is going. And then, you know, by the time I got to season 3, I was like, wait, when did I get hooked? And I didn't notice and realize, and I love this. And now it's playing on my heartstrings. And then season 4 came along and just ripped my heart out and crushed it in the most beautiful way.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
and they're only 30-minute episodes.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Anyways, back to Wheel of Time.
Yeah.
back to Wheel of Time. Yeah.
Enough on this.
Speaking of Wheel of Time, folks, you are here at a pivotal moment because I've been talking about it for weeks. I mean, I've been talking about it for months, really. But the time it's getting serious now because tickets to Malkier are about to close for in-person registration. Yeah, that day has finally arrived, folks, in about 16 hours. In fact, less than 16 hours. It's about 15 hours and like 37 minutes or something stupid like that. In-person tickets will stop being on sale. So if you want to attend, you don't have much time. Like, you know, the opportunity will pass you by and you will kick yourself because it's going to be an amazing time. I absolutely love what we put together on the schedule. We've got a lot of fun, a lot of interactive stuff, time to hang out and play, get to know your fellow con people, and just have a blast. But yeah, you need to get in there. If you're watching this back tomorrow, you know, you have until 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. And then I think technically it's Saturday morning in Perth or something like that.
What about European time? Because I feel like most of the people buying tickets are
European time? It's 6 p.m. in UK. 6 p.m. Friday night, Friday the 19th at 6 p.m. UK time. So,
and if people miss that deadline or can't travel, are virtual tickets still available?
Virtual, thank you, Frenzy, by the way. Taisha Malkier. Yes, virtual tickets will still be on sale. They'll be on sale right up until the convention starts. Eamon's Air, you have tickets. That's great. Do you need to register? If it's digital tickets, no, you'll just get sent the information of like, here's the links to the live streams because they'll be private. And if you're on Discord, you'll be sent information on how to not just join the Discord, but also give me a nudge to be like, hey, because it's a public Discord, I need the access to the private hidden Malkier channels, because there are special channels out there, folks. So thank you, Rajesh, saying the schedule.
It exists already.
It exists already. So Graina's asking, any of the maidens going? Sadly not.
No, I was trying to go, but passport foobar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That sucks. Like, a lot.
Yeah.
But next year.
Next year.
Next year.
Next year.
Next
There we
year.
go.
It'll be.
Ladies, we have an Aiel themed Tam joke just dropped in chat. I would like you to rank it. Lumen says, do you know what Aiel call blisters? Cadden sores.
That is definitely an Aiel themed pun.
That's not a joke. That's fact.
It's true.
So, I mean, I don't know why this is a pun or a joke.
There's also no chicken in this joke, so
Yeah.
can't be that good.
I mean, there's some water in them, but
And Jessica's asking me, are we getting t-shirts with the virtual? Yes. So if you haven't purchased your virtual ticket yet and you want to get it with the t-shirt, that is an option. You can buy that on the website. If you've already purchased your ticket prior to that, I'm still tweaking how to sort that out. So bear with me. That will be something I can arrange. You just need to give me like another half a week just to work a few kinks out. And then that will be a thing, because I just didn't add it in originally, and then people were like, wait, I want a t-shirt, especially after I went and showed the amazing badge art, which is there. I mean, look at that, it's fucking crazy. Again, lovey tree. Sorry.
how do I point that way? Because it's unbelievable.
It is amazing. So, but yeah. But if you want to get there, folks, are you Yes, I am planning next year on being September. I will be announcing dates for 23 by the end of the convention. So I hope to announce that as part of closing ceremonies, so that folks know when to prepare for next year. And I don't know, it depends how organized I am. I might even open registration at closing ceremonies. I might be crazy. Who knows? There was something I slid past the events manager, Kayla, like last week. I was like, hey, so I'd love to, we need to arrange dates before the end of the convention for next year so that I can finish the convention with come see us next year on these dates. And she's like, yeah, that sounds great. That sounds great. I said, maybe I could set up the event in the system so that people could actually just buy their ticket now if they want, a type thing. And she's like, y'all are crazy.
Did she
let's
just
get this year's event. Let's
get
finish.
and go bap, bap, bap.
Yeah. So let's just make sure we get everything covered for this year's event before you start building anything for next year's event, Rob. And I was like, yeah, we'll sort it out. So, but yeah, we're having fun with that, folks. Let's see what chat has said about the Innkeeper. 82% of chat says the Innkeeper is hatchlighting us. So, wow.
All right.
It's a lot of you think he's hatchlighting
I'm
us.
still only 60% of understanding the definition of hatchlighting. I think most
So
of it.
it's gaslighting, but it's when the Innkeeper does it to the fandom.
I know, but it just those two things don't equate in my head.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's when the innkeeper's fucking with us.
Basically, yeah. So
Anyway.
right, and
Which exactly
where are we up to now?
I think
We're
now-
up to the time when we stopped the Twitter feed.
Are we?
Yes.
Oh, no. By my count, we've still got 4
1
minutes
minute.
and 18 seconds or so.
What? I
We
thought
haven't been live for 30 minutes yet, so
Oh,
Robin
okay.
is mad.
I thought we were going by time, not duration.
No.
Okay.
duration,
Well,
yes.
So there is a surprise one that I'd like to brag about. One of our maidens,
Okay.
Bain&Chiad, got 3,000 Twitter followers today.
What?
She's let's just dish on Bain&Chiad for a little bit because she's amazing. She's got such a Twitter presence. I can't like again, like to Grain when we dished on her birthday. Like I can't imagine Twitter time without you. And there's a reason that you've got your maidens list. Because you totally deserve it. So
boom! Look at that, folks, right there. 3,000 followers. Flat.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy.
Are you? There's me at the top. Probably only because it's my account that we're clicking through. So.
But yeah, no, like you're there all the time. You're commenting. You're very supportive of people. You're retweeting. You've got very quirky, original.
You've got
posts.
69 likes on your WhatCon tweets.
Nice.
No
Do
one
I?
else
Nice.
is that out there. Yeah.
Nobody else liked the tweet.
Everybody stop. Nobody else like it.
Stop, look at that right there. 69
it.
likes. Stop liking it, folks. That's enough. So in fact, if anyone bips on it now, I'm gonna have to unlike it just to level it back out. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So anyways, that's our girl.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Leigh-A. I really appreciate that. It's just fun for me. From the beginning, I got addicted and just love everybody on there and like to entertain them. So
Great. Wow. Nice. Even from chat, she's roasting me. So
It's appropriate.
That's why we love
Are
it.
you shocked? Really?
I'm not surprised. So, but yeah, there's a lot of love for Bain&Chiad in chat, as rightly there should be.
Well
So,
deserved.
mhm. Okay, now we've done that. Surprisingly, anything else until we get to everything?
Jennifer Chian Garcia.
That was it. Yes. Okay, Bain&Chiad, why don't you talk to us about this little?
Yeah. So
snippet
speaking of
here.
Twitter, this is something I tweeted yesterday or the day before. I can't remember, but it's from Jennifer Chian Garcia's Instagram account, which you should all follow because she is one of the most gorgeous people I've ever seen in my life. And she's a badass warrior goddess and does like kickboxing and all sorts of crazy stuff. But she posted this in her stories, and I don't know if y'all can see the captions that she wrote, but one of them says, "I can't wait for you all to see it." And the other one says, like, "If you know, you know." So you can see Leanna, you can see her name, but it's not really clear what we're looking at. But the speculation is that maybe this means she's in season 2, which is something that hasn't really been officially confirmed that I know of. So I'm hoping we get more Leanna in season 2 because there was like criminally not enough of her in season 1.
This is true. Hi, Copper, by the way. Kev, I only put up with Bain because I really liked Chiad. And Melindhra is here in chat, folks.
No.
And she says, "I'm so honored to have a space sister like Bain&Chiad, despite her ridiculous taste in men."
Terrible taste.
Yep.
So, yeah,
Stone dogs.
thank you. Appreciate that. Not. So, but apparently she was talking about Gaul. Yeah, sure. Okay.
That's who I was talking about. Who'd you think I was talking
That's
about?
what we were all talking about.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, but getting back to the Leanna thing, like that's been one of the big speculations. Coming back, when, like, is she staying? I mean, she was a named actor before season 1 started, so you would assume that a named actor would have some sort of repetitive role. Again, we just don't know about what the fuck the Wheel of Time people are gonna do. So
Yeah, we've learned from season 1 that no matter how much we try to speculate, we don't know anything.
This is very, very true. I especially feel that pain. All right. I think that might be it. Did I miss
Video.
anything? And yeah, aside from the video, I meant, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Now it's video time.
Oh,
But first, Twitter's had an extra minute as of right now. So Twitter,
Lucky
we gotta say
Twitter.
goodbye. Folks, if you're watching on Twitter, this is your 30-minute sneak peek that's sometimes 45 minutes and sometimes 26. Depends on my mood. Today, it's about 32 minutes. So if you want to come and join us and have your little comments pop up in chat and all those sort of fun things, you need to be here on YouTube. Just click the link that's in this on Twitter, and it will take you to this on YouTube.
I think it depends more on whether or not we remember than mood. Because we're always happy here.
I mean, sometimes you just
I'm trying to look professional. So, but goodbye, Twitter.
Bye, Twitter.
All right. Is Twitter going? Twitter is gone. There we go.
Bye, Twitter.
Bye,
Thank
Twitter.
God. Now we can talk about them.
God damn. People on Twitter, man, like...
People who get a lot of followers on Twitter are so stupid. I don't understand.
Chills.
No, they're...
How's your yacht?
What's in a lane word? Like, vapid. The only thing that comes up is goddess. But, like, because I just wouldn't say anything negative about you, but vapid goddess, I mean, just...
Why not?
Why not? All right, folks.
There's a goddess for everything.
There is a goddess for everything. You're quite right. Let's talk stunt videos. I'm going to change the music now because this is, although this is like the end of the news, it's now also like not the end of the news. So we're going to transition to our acoustic little background music. Cochran is seriously super cute right now. I'm sorry, just look at his little face, folks, where he's just there staring at Bain&Chiad. Like, I love you, Mom. Yeah. Super cute little fluffy. And now there's a cute freeze frame. Anyway, folks, our wonderful Magdalena who played Tigraine in our amazing cold open, put out a quick, apparently like really quickly thrown together stunt reel that doesn't really even have a lot of her new stuff in it, but it was amazing, wasn't it? So
it's inspiring.
Yeah, it inspired us to create a what did I call it? What was the channel called?
Aiel Training Channel.
Yes, the Aiel Training Channel. So you can share your motivation for.
Well, and you rearrange your Discord a little bit.
Yes, we have a request in chat. Boop his nose, please.
You ready, chat? I guess I should probably make the noise when I do it, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when he comes back, I'll do it. I did boop it. It's anticlimactic.
We forgot a boop. It's okay.
It's a boop and done. But
we
here,
heard
folks.
It in our hearts.
Yeah, we have the video for you here, folks. So here you go. Enjoy this. That's not right. That's halfway through. Bosh. There we go. We'll start it from the beginning because that'll be better. Actually, there's been a request for something else. So 1 second. Let me just change shit up. Where?
I think butt rock is very, very important.
Yes.
There you go, folks. There's your butt rock.
Before we do, like, this is a foundational thing. Like, we're looking at a training video from one of our Aiel cohorts, and so we need to worship butt rock first, and then start training. Yeah.
So, all right, folks. Here is her latest stunt reel that was put together for a role or job she was applying for.
Start from that.
That's just so cool.
Can we just do a
she's
ramen
amazing.
rattle for her real quick?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Ramen rattle.
Scared the shit out of my cat. I'm sorry.
I love,
Sorry, buddy.
love Beth in chat. All of a sudden, I'm questioning every decision I ever made in my adult life.
Agreed.
Yeah, valid. It's just absolutely insane. So,
Totally.
is it hot in here or is it just Magda? Because damn.
No,
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
Magda. Like
She's incredible.
normally I would say like it's kind of no, it's just her.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, Ami's Fast Rider is like, I love when she picks up that spear in mid aerial. Yeah, it's just absolutely insane. All of this. So it's just a mad. Yeah, Aisada, you're right. It is amazing. Mel's crying. Tigraine is complimenting herself. Nice. So incredible.
Exactly.
Badass. Yeah, it's just insane. And there was a question, where did I see it? Christian Rapper. What is this? So Christian Rapper, this is a stunt video that Magdalena had put together with an editor friend. She needed to apply for a job, and what better way to apply for a stunt job than with a video displaying your stunts?
Well,
So
and Rob, maybe some people don't know who Magdalena is.
why don't you tell them?
Oh, okay, fuck.
I mean, it's not difficult to tell who she is.
Bain&Chiad, who is Magdalena?
She's the stunt actor who plays Tigraine in the episode 7 cold open of the Wheel of Time. She's the one
Responsible for moves like this.
Yes.
That's her there.
And they
10
showed
out of
that,
10.
and that was in the stunt reel. Just she
It
was
is.
on the mats with her harness, but
I will find it.
pretty amazing.
You just passed it. You just like well,
No, there was multiple. This
we
about
go.
here. Let me turn the sound off. Here, see?
Yes, there it is.
Right there. So, and there was comments like, "This is Carnival Row as well in here."
There's multiple. And she did other stunts in the Wheel of Time series, correct?
Yes. She stood in for. I just realized our music isn't playing. Stood in for Zoe during the
braid drag.
the braid drag scene.
dragging. Mhm.
Yes, braid dragging. She was the stunt person who stood in for that part, where you can't actually see Zoe's face, obviously.
And
So-
Cater Mel and I had the same thought that she can fly, which is,
Absolutely.
amazing.
Yeah. So this whole video is mad, and there's a lot of like Wheel of Time sections of this, isn't there? So
Yeah.
it's
So if
like a few
anyone
different
knows
bits of
her,
thing.
tell her we want to see her on the show.
We would love to interview her.
Mhm.
Yeah. But I loved like some of no, that's later on is the bit with the gun. But like here's a section. This is the bit that Amis mentioned where right there, just that was just insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well,
watch
and
it
you
like
just
that.
watch
It
her
just-
facial expressions the whole time. Like she's not just fighting; she is in the character in which she's in.
yeah, I mean look at that face right there. Like
Yeah, she's like, "I'm gonna murder you."
yeah,
Oh,
and then done.
Yeah. She's an incredible actor. I mean, she like the face that she makes when she looks up at Tam just kills me every time.
my God.
Like she's amazing. I hope that this woman goes really far in her career because she's just so awesome.
Yeah. So
Whoever
And,
she made
like-
this stunt video for, just hire her. Like,
Yeah.
why are
Literally.
you interviewing anyone else? She's amazing.
Right.
unless it will stop her working on Wheel of Time.
But
Yes.
in
In which
Green,
case,
I do agree; those aren't stunts; they're real stabs.
Yes.
For sure.
Of course. We just have to make it look good for the Wetlanders.
Yeah, this is true. I mean, she does ride a horse. She's using the sword in a couple of scenes, but you know.
I mean, a gal's got to get a job, so you know.
This is true.
And they're stunt swords. They're not real swords.
Yeah. Yeah, so no toe incurred.
No toe
So-
incurred.
I mean,
So-
Avienda rides a horse, so.
So, and something I learned, just reading like the clip, because this was on Instagram, so she put a little blurb with it as well. Magdalena's only been doing this for 7 years. She started in 2015.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, clearly she has some sort of, martial arts background or something, but...
Yeah, I'd love to know more about her Genesis story.
Yeah. So, and this is that's from the cold open as well, just then. And so's this. I just love it. That was obviously before they changed some bits up. Here's the flying moment. Is that kind of a row with the wings? This sets herself on fire.
That one's crazy where she got
I know, right?
Fire.
I want to know more about how they do that. It's really fascinating to me.
Oh, so I can tell you.
Oh, okay. Oh,
yeah, so in my real life, when I was when I was in the Navy, I was the damage control assistant. So I was in charge of firefighting. So we had all these fire retardant suits. And that's basically what they do is they create these material that are lighter than a firefighting suit, but it's made out of the same material. And there's like sprays that you can put on them. And there's also like coatings that you can put on your face that if flames go up to your face, you don't get burned. So there's all these things that you can do to protect yourself from being lit on fire. So all these shows, that fascinated me. So I did a little bit of research into it. So, and I can't name a single one of them now. It's been years since I researched it. But there are all these, like things that you can put on bear skin, like the fire retardant clothing that is very shell-like that you can put underneath clothes that light on fire that they use. And just honestly, the pyrotechnics that the film industry has come up with is insane. And the people who do it are also insane because there's still a risk that is involved. It's not 100%.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's fire at the end of the day.
Yeah.
There's no guarantee.
Fire is completely uncontrollable. Like you can attempt to control it. You can think you can control it, but shit just happens. So, anyways.
It's very true.
There's my rant for the day.
Bain&Chiad, you had something you wanted to add, I believe?
Yeah, I'm going to drop the link in chat, but if any of you are interested in seeing an interview with Magdalena, John from What Up managed to get one with her, and she does talk a little bit more about her career and how she got started and things like that. So it's a pretty good interview. So although we wish it was with us, for now, at least you can see her on John's show.
Here we go, folks. So, all right. Anything you want to pick out from this, or shall we move on to the reading rainbow that Shelley has for us? Boop.
I like that new transition.
You like there's a transition? Boop.
Boop.
There you go.
Painful.
See?
Oh, you've got it with you.
I got a bigger one today. My other one is not clean at all, so this was the easier one to use, but it's much bigger.
Wow. There we see, folks. She's got the bigger one out just for us. So.
Leigh-A always brings the big one out for me.
There we go.
Oh.
See? Because that's Shelley's back. That's how it works. So, all right, folks, we haven't been able to play this intro in a very long time, but let's play this intro. It's so cute.
It's so cute.
Let's just play it again. It's very, very sweet. All right. Shelley, take us away with your reading rainbow.
So for those of you who don't know what that is, we do a tribute to Reading Rainbow once in a while when some of us have read a book that we want to talk about. And I recently finished a series that I want to talk about. So some of you may remember the year 2020. A couple things happened. Nothing too big. And suddenly I found myself with a lot of time on my hands. And I was like, this is great. I have all this time on my hands. I'm going to read all these books that are on my shelf that I haven't had time for. I'm going to find out when Black Future Month is. I'm going to find out who burned down that library. I'm going to become an awesome boss. I'm going to become a motherfucking stoic. I was going to read Umberto Eco and still have no clue what happened, even though I'd gone through the book twice and he's my favorite author. I was going to figure out what Miss Klein had against these logos, despite this very clearly being a logo. I had all this. I was like, this is what I'm going to do. I
Okay.
had more, but I figured.
I mean,
you
you
know.
can keep going. Like, there we go. Go for it.
Yeah, keep her popped up.
Well, I don't have more books, but I mean, there were lots of things I was going to read.
Okay,
I
I
was
thought there was
ready
more
to
books.
read.
I was like, I'm missing out on the close-up to all these books here, you know. So,
Well, and so I'm getting ready to read, and I sit down and I make myself a cup of tea, and I open the book and I inhale that new book smell, and my brain looks at me and says, you know what? I appreciate all the amino acids that you've given me. Tryptophan at Thanksgiving was great. Loved it. Those crosswords we did together, best times of my life. But I think I need some me time. And with that, my brain packed a bag, left, walked out the door. And so I was sitting there with my book and could not concentrate. I could not focus. I was so upset because I was like so ready to read all of this stuff. And I sat there in my 650 square feet and said, what am I going to do with myself during this pandemic? And then the library goddess in the sky dropped Cassandra Clare into my lap. Now, I know this is an older series. Some of you already know about this. But it was exactly what I needed during the pandemic. The base, if you want to put up the graphic, Rob.
Boom.
Yeah. So Cassandra Clare, this was exactly what I needed during the pandemic. Just to give you an idea of what this is. Long story short, there are a bunch of people who have communication with angels, basically. They've been touched by angels. There's angels in their history, and they fight demons. And they are beautiful people. And it is like all YA novels, there is so much angst, and it is beautiful angst, and it's exactly what I need for. And these books kind of go like, what are rails? We don't need them. It is so off the rails from the get-go that I love it. If you thought Watt was convoluted, you've got nothing on these books. Let me just describe one plot line for you. This guy is in love with his best friend, who he also happens to have a magical connection to, but unbeknownst to him, his best friend is in love with someone who actually turns out to be his sister because their evil father was experimenting on them with angel blood. But this guy who's in love with the person has a warlock who's in love with him, who's actually friends with the guy's great-great-great-grandfather because the warlock's an immortal. That is like just a smidgen of how complicated these stories get, and they are great. It's the TV show with Shadowhunters. I watched it 6 times. It's terrible. It's exactly the type of terrible that you need during the pandemic.
No, the show is terrible. I watched it, and like I watched the first season. I'm just like, you can see why people like this, but
yeah,
I'm so lost. Yes.
Yeah, I would say don't write it off because it's a YA novel. It was fun. It was exactly what I needed. If you love angst, if you love beautiful teenagers who have to save the world on a weekly basis with the power of their undying love at 16 because they've met the love of their life, these are the books for you. You are going to get a kick out of them. And then they have these Outrigger novels. And one of my favorite Outrigger novels was Tales from Shadowhunter Academy. So imagine if a wizarding school, but these are for the angel demon fighting Nephilim, looked at Hogwarts and all the stuff they do to the students and said, you know what? Hold my fucking beer. And make school way more dangerous. That's what this was like.
Hold my Usquai.
Yeah, hold my Usquai. That's what this was like. So the Outrigger novels are great. The only one I haven't read is like the most recent releases because I finished all the internal series. I'm not going to say that these are great works of literature, but they are exactly what I needed during the pandemic. They were fun. They were angsty. They were beautiful people. They were wonderful escapism. You have glowing swords, you have werewolves, you have vampires that don't sparkle. This is what you want. So go ahead, give it a shot. You can look at Cassandra Clare's website. She's got 4 different suggested reading orders, publication, by series, anything like that. Totally go ahead. Highly recommend these books. Don't go into them thinking you're going to be reading like Love in the Time of Call or anything. You are reading angel people who are beautiful teenagers who fight demons while the grown-ups just harsh their jive. That is these books. Get used to it. They are wonderful.
So, like, pseudo Buffy the Vampire Angel?
Yeah, Buffy the Vampire...
Sort of?
Yeah. Buffy the Vampire Slayer meets... I don't want to say Twilight, because I don't think Twilight was as well written as these books.
Oh god, what's the,
Like,
series, True Blood, the True Blood series?
Oh yeah, I watched that.
And I've actually read all those books.
I didn't know there were books.
Oh my god, they're so good.
I didn't know
They're
that
so
either.
terrible, but they're
But I've not watched True Blood, so you know.
Yeah.
That kind
And
of
my
gets in there
favorite
too.
thing to do with these books is just explain them to whoever's in the room out of context. And just be like, well, listen, the
Great
warlock,
rundown, apparently.
yeah, the warlock who was in love with this person and is friends with this person who actually has a magical drug addiction, who is, dedicated best friends to this person, but they're both in love with the same girl who's a warlock but doesn't know it because her father was this. Like, I just love explaining these books out of context to people. They make it very fun to just be like, what the fuck are you reading?
I love that.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
That's a pretty solid recommendation for
Yeah.
what I personally would describe as a casual read.
Yeah,
It
they
sounds
are-
like
they
it
are
shouldn't be
casual
casually read
read.
because it's very complicated.
They were my brain saying peace out, but that was it.
Yeah.
I was like, my brain could not handle all the books that I wanted to read.
Luke I Jedi says that's not a dish. Shelley is right. They aren't great per se, but they are a fun read. Do you know what? I have lots of books no longer on my bookshelf because I dismantled my bookshelf in order to pack it away with all my books because I'm moving next week. Hence, I don't know if you can see under my TV. There's a few boxes just down there. That's my DVD collection in those little 4 alcoves there. This is I've left the living room so that I have all my decorations up for the show, and then this weekend I'm going to start taking it all down. Maybe not this weekend. I've got to work.
That's so exciting, though.
But I have going back to the original point. I have books on my bookshelf that I very much have just because I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to pick this up and read it because it's nothing complicated or wild or
It's
crazy,
candy.
but it's fun. Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes you just want a piece of candy.
Chad has named it. It's like Buffy meets Narnia meets general urban fantasy.
Oh yeah, and there's fairies, but between the fairies have their own politics as well. And like,
I love this DPT.
Well, and somebody in chat, the Charlene Harris, yes, thank you, Beth Weston. So the books are the Charlene Harris Chronicles or something like that. So that's what the True Blood TV series is based off of the books.
Oh no, I'm hiding the kitty by doing that. There's the kitty. There he is.
Again.
That's Copper.
Okay, so that's Reading Rainbow. I hope you guys are okay with me just giving you my brain candy. And yeah, I can show you the other books too because I have started plugging my way through some of them. But it was just like I was so ready to read all these meaty books with all the spare time on my hands. And then I couldn't do it. And I will say I use the audiobooks a lot of the time, and the audiobooks were quite good too.
That was going to be my next question.
Nice.
Yep, they do have audiobooks. They are pretty good. They're short story outrigger novels, also pretty good. It's just a lot of fun.
So I love that. That's great. Mel's asking, is this the last show from your house? Yes, folks, this will be the last Threefold Talk where this current background exists. In 2 weeks' time, I will be either in a new property or recording from a street corner somewhere. Because I'll either be in a new house or I'll be homeless. I'm joking. I'll have a new house. It'll be fine. But I love to. I was writing to people at work today. I was like, "Yes, I got to move like next Sunday. So like, if I don't get this house, then like I'm homeless." And they're like, "What?" I'm like, "I'll get the house. It's fine. It's not an issue." So, but yeah, it's making me laugh. So, but this is the last one from here, folks. So, and I'm very excited to show you what my new background will look like because I think it's very, very cool. So, Rob working a corner. Yes, you're right, Jim. Just say I'm upgrading. It's working for the innkeeper. Like I'm just upgrading my studio as I record from like, a random bus stop, or whatever. I'm going to play that angle. It's going to be hilarious. And they are loving all of your Shelley's candies. So we can keep doing that. Rob,
some of my books will be heavier, some will be lighter.
This is true. Will Rob get a new studio before the innkeeper does? Yes, because mine's pre-built. Rob picked the house based on the background he would get. You say that, Glenn. And actually, that was like how Kayla sold the house to me. She's like, if we get this house, because upstairs, I was not thrilled with the upstairs, and I was not thrilled with the kitchen. And she's like, but if we get this house, you could be down that corner of the living room, lounge, whatever you want to call it, folks. and then you would have that as the background. I was like, I'm in. Mel, shut up with that right now. I'm just sitting that in chat. So, and Grace, right? Okay, no, stop it, chat. No, all right, moving on. Next up, folks.
Furniture shopping with
Stop
Guy
it, he
Roberts
says
sounds
as
like
he
a
puts
day.
the comments on the screen.
I'm not putting any of the comments on screen. Don't you dare start doing it, Bain&Chiad.
You gave her the power.
His greatest regret.
And Zariel is quite correct. Recording from street corner would be extra weird considering the time because the show starts at 2 a.m. for me. So, yeah.
I mean, we don't discriminate. You can record from wherever.
Yes, exactly. So I also love in chat a few people like, you can come live with us.
Aww.
So, where is it?
Also, Z, hey.
Yeah, Z, what are you doing up? Well, wait, no, it's 5 a.m. for Z, so this is fair. Okay. Beth's egging you on, Grace. That's hilarious. Do it, Grace.
Hopper is just adorable right now.
He is being very cute.
He is so cute. Chat, you're killing me. To Grain's comment. No, stop it, Grace. But I might have to put up to Grain's comment right here. Like, can't believe Malkier and Shiner are going to unite as roommates.
Are
We
we
kind of did in the books.
Are we
Yeah,
actually really surprised about that? Because, I mean, that's kind of historical. That
They're basically
Malkier
related.
And the Shinerans basically, like,
Yeah.
What did they
that's
do?
Malkier lost their home, and then Shiner were like, well, you can live with us. So, you know.
It's canon.
Wait. So that's why I'm not here for 2 weeks, because I'm moving to Prague. No, I'm not. I'm not. Enough of the joke now. Let's move on. What are we doing next, folks? Bain&Chiad, why do you tell everybody what we're doing next, and don't you dare say talking about Guy. I have my finger on the mute button.
Well, Uno is one of our...
Yeah.
We can do that one first.
No, there's the mute button, so done.
But it's part of the show.
We're making a tier list of weapons. We've got a really great assortment of weapons that our roof mistress put together, and we're going to rank them as to how stabby and effective we think they are.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, I just think, as someone whose first interaction with Rob was a podcast about pacifism, I'm the perfect person to speak about weapons. So
Yes.
this is going to go
By
great.
the way, folks, if y'all have not listened to that podcast, it is probably on one of my favorite podcast episodes list ever. So if I would do a top 10, that would be 1, 2, or 3.
Aw, thank you.
So good. So good. Yeah. Anyways, back to the
It's okay. So I don't want to say that I'm an expert on weapons, but
But even wise ones get stabby sometimes.
sometimes we get a
This
bit
is true.
stabby.
This is true. All right. So, what are we starting with? Do you want to explain the tier listing? Like, for anyone who doesn't understand what this means, should we do that first, maybe?
Yeah, what does S mean?
I always thought it stood for superior, but people may have
But
different...
we could make it for us stand for stabby.
Look, High Lord Weramon Santiago like tier list.
Get over yourself, Weary.
Yeah, no weary. So,
Shame.
Mel in chat. Shelly can handle your weapons, y'all.
She is a wise one. She is a wise one. Wise
is
ones
true.
know how to do these things.
Okay, so folks,
that's
what
right.
we're going to do is, I have to switch screens for a second here. So, for example, let's take this picture of Magdalene that we have here. And the idea is we'd be like, hey, so this one represents...
Fists.
Martial arts.
Sorry?
Hand-to-hand combat.
Hand-to-hand combat. And we decide, well, hand-to-hand combat as a choice of weapon is, A, superior, stabby. Just like an A, a B, like, oh no, it's actually really quite bad, so we'll just give it a D, and we just sort of put it where we think is appropriate, and then we add other things as we go, and we start building a list, and then at the end of it we will have a ranking system.
And you guys can yell at us in the chat when you disagree with us.
Indeed. So, so which one should we do first? He says,
well, you've got Tigraine already up there, so...
Yeah, you've got hand-to-hand already up there, so we should talk about that.
Okay, let's do hand-to-hand combat. So, anybody have a suggestion of where this should go?
Well, and I've actually written I need to pull it up on my computer.
Wait, I also have an actual picture of this as well, folks. So, because it's tiny on screen, but I uploaded all the pictures, so... Boom! This is the picture. Look at that badass picture there. That's fucking amazing.
Yeah, so a little bit of a description of hand-to-hand combat. There are multiple fighting forms. Some of them are just fists. Some of them include the feet. And it just, what we may or may not consider is the fact that when it comes down to it, if somebody has a weapon against you, sometimes it's not quite as effective, but you can still be very effective with just hand-to-hand. And it's a melee range only type combat. So people can take down folks with firearms. People just hand-to-hand can take down folks with knives, daggers, all sorts of things. You can be very effective. So that being said, there are very big disadvantages, whereas if there's any sort of other weapon, you're very exposed.
So do we have a suggestion on where this might go on the system?
I mean, the other advantage is you always have your hands and feet on you.
This is true.
Like, you're lying in bed, someone comes to attack you, and you're like, punch!
Yeah, hand-to-hand.
That kind of felt very chill as well. You were just like, punch.
Casual punch.
Well, hand-to-hand is a big, the best self-defense option. Mm-hmm. So if you're getting attacked, knowing hand-to-hand combat honestly is one of the best things. One of all the things that you can, concealed weapons aren't effective because you can't pull them out fast enough. Knowing how to fight is the best weapon you can have on your person. And I am a huge proponent, by the way, PSA for folks, go take a fucking self-defense class. And don't just take a self-defense class, go take continual self-defense classes. You can't learn it from one class. As someone who speaks from experience, you need the continual experience of practicing those hand-to-hand motions. And there's multiple versions of hand-to-hand combat that you can learn. And a lot of them are, do enough, step back, run away. Go get help.
Ooh, Half Man Dan makes a good point. So
hand to hand is how you make guys shine. So
S tier, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. At Three Falls Talk, we prefer a hands-on approach.
Yes, we do.
So we're torn between S and A, is what I'm hearing here, basically.
I think we should do S, but have it be at the end of S.
Okay.
There'll be, I'm sure we'll put some stabby weapons up on S, so we'll just put those above Magda.
All right. So, Magdalena, you're left in S for now.
And those pants alone are S tier.
Yeah. I mean, those are pretty amazing. In essence, she's basically just the floating torso right now. So,
yeah, I can't
it's very impressive.
It's very Aiel.
Yes. Okay. Next weapon on the list. Am I just working through in sequence?
Yeah, Ashendare, I guess, is next.
The Ashendare, okay.
We'll actually do Spearfist.
Spearfist. Which one's this one?
Yes.
All right. That's a wide selection of spears you have there.
A lot of spears.
So, spears are actually defined typically as consisting of a shaft, usually of wood, with a pointed head. It's a sharp pointed head. They can be thrown or thrust at enemies or prey. These are obviously melee ranged or ranged. So, and then they're one of the first man-made tools that are specifically weapon-based, whether it's hunting or warfare-based. And so, and one of the interesting things about spears, which is why I want to do it before we do Ashendare, is that there are multiple subcategories. For example, halberd, pike, trident, javelin, lance. And so, again, with just a long shaft with a pointed, sharp spear on the end, that's a very vague description of what a spear is. And as you can see in the picture, this is a wide variety of the different types of spears that could potentially be defined. So there's a myriad of fighting techniques that you can use. So you can use different hand techniques, gripping techniques that facilitate one of three things. You're either slashing, stabbing, or throwing. So those are the basic combat techniques that you will use with spears: slashing, stabbing, or throwing.
No bonking?
The fourth technique is bonking. Yes, you could bonk with a spear.
Would you say
That's
that
the
sometimes-
spirit for it.
Would you say that there are spears with, say, thicker, shorter staffs that are equally effective if you know how to use them?
Yes. Well, and it all comes down to the technique that you're using. And so each different type of spear has a different purpose. And again, each type of spear has multiple ways that you can handle it.
Excellent.
Cool. I was just really enjoying putting in people's comments during all of that. It was very enlightening what people were saying. So, how do we rank spears?
I mean, thrusting, boinking, four techniques. That's pretty S
Shafts.
tier. Shafts.
Yeah.
S tier.
That's pretty
S
S tier.
Okay.
Actually, let's put in the A tier, because the next thing I'm going to throw at y'all is the Aiel specific spear. So this is general spears.
Okay.
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 So the next
All right.
one we're going to do is specifically the Aiel spears.
All right.
Which
Is
Robert Jordan,
that one?
yes, which Robert Jordan based off of the Zulu style spears. They tend to be shorter haft with longer pointy things.
Tips?
Stabby pointy things.
Stabby pointy things?
Yes. So this, while spears are general spears, are in the A tier, I think the Aiel, I would propose, as the Aiel. We obviously are masters. This is one of our primary weapons.
I like that we thought to put a little testicle on the fifth one just for extra grip.
Well, I mean, you don't want your hand sliding off of it when you're in the middle of combat. Like, if you're trying to pull the spear out of someone, you don't want if your hands are filled with blood, you don't want to slide off of that easily.
If they're kind of slippery.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously.
No, that's a good innovation. I like it.
It is, yeah. Very good innovation. Okay.
So, again, my proposal is general spears A, Aiel spears S.
Okay. I'm down with that.
Yeah? Okay.
I mean, Bain&Chiad, what do you think? You're the maiden in the spear. Like, you're the one that knows these things.
I would put it in an S tier, for sure. I mean, that's... I can't make any jokes right now without completely cracking up. I realized that that flowers are the extent of my ability to, yes.
My ability to remain deadpan stops at flowers, yes.
Yes.
So, someone's asking, why is the Wetlander veiled? Because I'm just dying in the background here. That's why I keep hiding myself with comments. So,
well, feel free to ask questions or jump in with your knowledge, Rob. Some of these weapons aren't Aiel weapons, so we're going to need the Wetlander perspective.
Yeah. No, I bow to your knowledge and your experience with spears here, ladies. So,
okay.
Well, we're not only talking just about spears.
Yeah.
We've got other things to talk about.
This is true. No, I meant for these first couple options. So, That's what I meant. So
do we go to the Ashendare now because it's similar to a spear?
Yes, now we can go to the Ashendare because
Gotcha.
Ashendare technically is a type of spear.
okay.
Yeah, so this is Matt with the Ashendare. And then Ashendare, specifically from the wiki, is a polearm weapon with a short blade on top. Can be used for stabbing or slashing. It's a two-handed weapon. Very specifically, it's a two-handed weapon, so it's not as versatile as a typical spear. But it's best used within open space and is ineffective if you have to do close combat. Old tongue, it means sword spear. And what we're going to quickly go to, Rob, if you don't mind, the Japanese. So what it is thought to be based off of is the Japanese naginata. Nope, not that one.
Not that one.
It's one of the the single
That one.
blade. Yep. Yes, that one.
I was just going to say, I think it's obviously D tier since it says sword spear. Why take a spear and put a sword on it?
Boop.
It's like a spear with toe. No one wants that.
I mean, multi-purpose.
Yeah, I mean, I would say C because at least it has the spear part. It's not 100% a sword.
And if if you keep it encased in the shaft, then you have a great walking stick as well.
And you don't have to touch the sword part.
It's really just a very long dagger on a stick.
Oh, and we'll go to dagger next because that's interesting. So this is supposed to only have one single side that's sharp.
Okay.
Backside.
All right, so we're agreed on C tier with this.
Okay, we can go C tier, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, C tier, done. We're going dagger next.
Yeah,
Dagger.
We started doing that conversation.
Dagger. Why? Apparently, I don't have the daggers.
Yeah, you do. It's the circle one.
No, I do there, but I don't.
Did I not send it?
No, he's got larger pictures.
I have large pictures, and I must have missed that one. So,
Yep,
all right.
hold
Well,
on.
it's this one here, folks. I'm just pop it there for a second. And it has
So
no background.
daggers. So I looked up the difference between daggers and knives because that was very complicated for me in my head. And turns out there is a philosophical discussion. And Rob, I just sent you discussion on the difference between daggers and knives. So basically, what it comes down to, the difference. There's multiple uses that are crossover. Daggers are a fighting knife. So it's specifically defined as a fighting knife with a sharp point with two edges that are sharp. And their typical design is as thrusting and stabbing. So daggers typically can be used for common uses such as cutting, but because of the dual-edged nature, daggers are more of a weapon than a common tool. So knives typically are defined as one sharp side with a safe edge. So if the user accidentally does something like grabs the knife by the one side, you're not cutting the fuck out of your hand. So knives can be used. So you do, especially in mealtime, you see Tom with throwing knives, and men has knives tucked around.
Aiel.
Those are probably actually daggers that they're using. So like they're called knives, but they're probably actually daggers that have the dual edge side because they do tend to be interchangeable. And there's actually no definition for a throwing knife or a throwing dagger. So that doesn't exist out there in the world. So as you can see in the picture, there are multiple types of daggers that exist. And as you can see, they all have dual sharpened edges.
So as Skeeter saying, daggers swing both ways. Got it.
Yeah, daggers always swing both ways.
Can you shrink the big graphic while we discuss it? Because I'll tell you what I like about daggers. Once you thrust them in, you can kind of go a couple extra times just to make sure it was effective.
Yeah. Well, I haven't even got to the best part about daggers. Is the way that you use them. So there are multiple ways to implement daggers, and I actually looked at multiple cultures, and all comes down to a couple of things. So there's an offensive way, for the most part, where you just hold it by the hilt, it's out. You can do stabbing, you can do slashing, but there's and that's completely offensive. That's potentially assuming that you've got another weapon in your hand, that you're using this as a supplementary style weapon if you're in close, besides the fact of self-defense. The other way that you use it in actual fighting is this backhanded way. It's not as much of an offensive weapon. You can still flash, but what you can do in melee combat is use it as a defense. So if somebody's slashing at you with a sword or something like that, you can raise it, you're defending yourself, and then you can still, depending on what you have in your other hand, like say this pencil, for instance. So if I'm using the pencil in the offensive way, I can raise my hand, defend myself, and then stab with the offensive dagger. It actually does become a very, in melee combat, it does become a very effective type of weaponry, because once you get close in, some of those larger weapons, like those stupid swords that Wetlanders use, you get really close in, yeah, they can't be effective with daggers once you're using it in consort like this.
And like many activities, sometimes using a second tool or toy can make it more effective.
Exactly.
It can make the battle go quicker, I think.
Yeah.
Is it really great, Bain&Chiad?
I mean, no comment.
You just have to, well, and all of it comes down to practice and training. So with everything in life,
That's right.
Just keep practicing.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway,
So where do we tier this? I'm going to put this back now. So
I would say A, because unless you're directly up in, like very close, like not just 5 foot, you have to be right up on the person. It's not quite as effective, so you can't be, a couple feet apart. You have to be right there.
okay.
Within. It's not even arm's length. It's within.
It's in grappling range.
It's grappling range. It's elbow range.
Gotcha. All right. I like A. Yeah, we're all with that. Next weapon of choice, ladies.
Well, the pencil makes a good segue, doesn't it?
The pencil does make a good segue. Where is the pencil?
Uno.
Uno is the pencil. Okay. Right. Uno is the pencil. Never thought I would say that sentence.
Right,
there is a
Uno
pencil,
pencil.
folks.
Yeah,
Explain to us why this is a pencil.
So I use this as cutting words.
Ah, cutting words. Okay.
Yeah, because obviously things that we say hurt people. So I felt like Uno was really good with cutting words.
I feel like he's actually better at like viciously mocking people.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like a cutting word just kind of like puts you off balance, so that you know maybe you don't do as much damage. But like a vicious, really good piece of mocking, like that's an attack.
Kayla Mellon said Mr. Pointy.
Mr. Pointy.
Actually, Wise One Shelly, that's a really good. So who do we think would? Okay, so I did these pictures and think about that.
We can just stick with Uno because otherwise we have to like relaunch the form and stuff.
No. We'll stick with this because I think they're similar, but I'm interested in this conversation.
Because I think Aes Sedai probably use cutting words, right? Because they like to throw you off.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Whereas Uno's going in for the attack, so which is why he's gonna like viciously mock you.
Yeah, like I definitely think Shinerians in general maybe are really good at the vicious mockery version. And then Aes Sedai, like, and I guess the Kyrian also.
Yeah, they're probably good at the cutting words too.
Yeah, but Tominace.
Talmanes, he does the vicious mockery.
He
Oh my
does.
So low key, yeah. Okay, so sorry, Rob. I didn't I think we
That's okay. You're fine.
we're gonna bundle all of this up in one.
Yeah,
Okay.
A lot of it's the verbal component, but
I think probably similar to hand-to-hand combat. It's like S tier because you've always got your
Yes.
words, you've always got your wit.
Agree.
Does a surprising amount of damage to your psyche.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
think
would
it's
put it
S
S
tier.
tier.
On the end, in the middle.
and
Probably
I would
a
put it
little
more
bit
towards
past.
the end because somebody can still slash you down. Actually, I would put it in A because you can still get slashed down. There's only
Top of A though. If it's
Yeah.
going to be an A, it has to be at the top.
I agree. I very much agree. Yeah.
Okay.
Again, you can still get slashed down, but you can talk yourself in and out of situations one way
Right.
or another, whether you're
Yeah.
mocking someone or you're chiding someone.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Could I offer you some conflict now, ladies?
Yeah.
Okay. What about swords?
no,
B tier.
Nope.
no. I'm literally
Not
walking
even on the
away.
D tier.
I'm walking away from this conversation right now.
Not even allowed on the chart.
What? No. This is not okay. Because whilst you're enjoying this picture of Daniel Henney, okay, and I feel like I just need to up it slightly, because Daniel Henney's great, but we also
Butt rock.
You'll note he doesn't have a sword in that picture.
but and I know right now you're just being like,
Wetlanders.
Yep.
but swords come in various forms, folks. There's many forms out there.
Really.
You can
really,
have
it's
short
It's
swords, you can
seriously
have
just swords.
long swords. You could have a claymore, which is it's the most common type of sword that appear in video games. So if you're a gamer out there, folks, you're gonna know it lots. It's you need two hands for that. To handle a claymore. Although it is interchangeable with the term claymore. With a greatsword, you can swap claymore and greatsword together. Then you have the bastard swords, or a hand and a half sword. Yes, you can have the rapier sword is what you might like, folks. It's a thrusting sword. I mean, it's very thin, but it's very pointy. No, a hanger.
It's the motion that matters, honestly, for the most
Still a
part.
sword.
That's why we have spears.
Okay. Well, there's a lot out there. In this one, this is like a very katana style. Well, it's a bit katana style blade. This one, there's so many types of sword out there, and they're there to be appreciated. But I feel like I'm not winning you over here. So, you're so blinded to reality by your cultural biases, ladies. There we go.
But I mean, even from a practical perspective, think how long it takes to train people to become good swords people. Whereas a spear, boink, there you go. You give them a stick and they can hit someone with it. From a distance.
From a distance.
Well, yeah. I mean, we could rank this, and then I actually have a better weapon based off of exactly what you said, One Shelly. That we could do next.
Fine, he can be, D tier. Done.
Aiel can read. We know the alphabet.
Sorry, you were saying yes, weren't you?
No.
Daniel Henney, yeah? S tier.
Daniel Henney, S tier. Sword, D tier.
Correct.
So, A tier then.
No. Who
50-50
would the
B?
Wetlander be in charge of this?
I know.
Seriously. Next
Look.
time I'm doing it.
Split the difference. It's a B. Okay.
No, we said D.
Well, you're outnumbered. 3 people said D.
Right. Well, no. In this case, chat's got to help out. Okay. Chat needs to pick. So.
Chat's biased.
Swords.
Chat better not be biased or they're all fired.
They have an option between S,
I mean,
B, and D.
if we take Mel's word for it, getting the D isn't so bad.
That's true.
There we go. See?
So
Where's that
we
comment?
shouldn't be too upset about the D.
He needs to give up the sword and use Shelly to do form.
That's what I've been saying.
Nice.
Yep.
I would take him, Gaishan,
Mm-hmm.
and he would see the error of his ways.
Yeah. I love Rajesh. Even this picture looks like he's saying it could be warmer. And Andrew Dash is pointing out that the ladies are all asking for the D.
We are.
We're
This
demanding
is a
it.
good point. You're demanding the D. Wow, it is so torn in chat right now. Honestly, it just keeps flicking back and forth.
It does it. Does it keep flicking back
Yeah.
and forth?
Yeah, it does. Yep. So it just keeps going back and forth in chat. So,
Keeps
but
flicking back
anyway.
and forth. Yeah. All right,
Well,
so while we're waiting for that, Rob,
Yeah.
we'll bring up the battle axe because that was a perfect segue.
Battle axe.
Like swords are actually expensive and difficult to make. So the battle axe actually is a cheaper weapon than swords and are considered to be more versatile and actually easier to make. They're just battle axes specifically are designed for combat, but they have multiple purposes, so you can still use them as tools. Battle axes, why they're cheaper than regular axes and swords, is that they're made for chopping limbs. So sorry, I probably should use like some sort of warning there. But they're thinner, so they use less metal, and they're sharper than just the axe that you're using to chop down a tree. Like, you're not trying to continually hack at something. It's a very quick single use. You sharpen it afterwards. It's not this continual hacking motion. And there's a lot of versatility. So you've got the one blade. What we have up now is 2 blades. You can also throw them. So that is the battle axe.
Okay. Mel points out that his axes are even more cheaper because they're missing half the axe. And Light Blindfold says that's
Mel,
a really...
Those are double the axe.
Yeah.
Just because the haft is short. The haft is short, but he knows how to use them, and it's got double the width. So
There we go. Light Blindfold says it's a really weird shaped dagger. He might want to get that checked out. So, all right. Where are we putting this short but girthy axe combination thing?
I think C.
B? Seriously?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The only thing I do have to caveat is I know the fandom hates those particular axes.
Yeah, it did appear in chat. Someone was
Well,
complaining about them.
Those particular axes are destroyed anyway, so.
Yeah, so we don't have to deal with them again, but...
Mm-hmm. I mean, they almost kill a lot of people when they get destroyed as well, including, you know, a bit of butt rock.
A for effectiveness, D for killing butt rock.
D for killing butt rock.
Yeah.
Butt rock.
Okay. Shall I? We're gonna leave them in B.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we should
Okay.
zip through. We're getting late.
Oh shit! Yeah, I just realized the time. Okay, let's end the poll quickly. Oh shit! Looks like a tie. S 35, D 35, B 28. Seems like it should stay in B.
I mean, that's kind of the middle ground.
It is the middle ground. We'll leave it there. We'll carry on. Right.
I mean,
let's just pick like.
Shelly's the statistical one, so she should be the one too.
All right, let's just do 3 more quickly.
Okay.
Let's do
All
the
right.
one power.
The 1 power. Okay. I'm on the wrong screen. 1 power. Bosh. S tier, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
Got
It's
it. Top tier
You
S
can
tier?
literally do anything.
I feel like sometimes the Aes Sedai ineffectively use it, so I would say A tier.
Now, you say that actually, there's a panel at Malkiricon where we're actually going to take people's anonymous suggestions on what you would actually use the power for. We all say traveling. We all say, like, I'd use it to, like, you know, do this or do that, all the normal big things. But what would you really, in your day-to-day life, actually use
And
the
right
power
now
for?
we're specifically talking about it with respect to combat. So
Yes.
as a weapon. So yes, the 1 power is a very effective tool. For the most part, over the Third Age, the Aes Sedai have not perfected using the 1 power as combat. Now the Shan-Chan have used the 1 power as combat. Eventually, the Black Tower starts effectively used very, like, in very unethical ways, start using the 1 power as combat tools. So I guess overall, like, if we're just looking at the White Tower, blah 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 blah, I would say A. Actually, I would say C. If we're talking like other cultures, A, because they just use it unethically.
I mean, just to clarify, if you're going to judge how the 1 power is used based in different cultures, could we perhaps then readjust how cultures use hand-to-hand combat and thus then move this down because some cultures don't have a hand-to-hand combat? I mean, the justification for it being S tier was like you always have them on you, you know, but let's say a tinker, you know, always has hand-to-hand combat to hand and then will literally run away as opposed to
Rob's taking this seriously.
Yeah,
I'm here making sex jokes and Rob's like, no.
I would retort that tinkers are a null culture in this because they never use anything as weapons.
Okay. But I'm just saying, if you're going to judge where we rank the 1 power based on how different cultures use it, and we haven't done that for everything else.
Well, and I've actually done everything else with a broad spectrum, so that's why I said, like, with the small exceptions of the Ashendari and the Aiel spears, like, it's a general thing.
I'm still going to put the 1 power in S tier because literally you can use it to do anything.
Yeah.
It's like a Deus Ex Machina weapon.
Right.
You can use it to stop all of the other weapons that we have on the list.
Okay. I vote that we now just do 2 more and they be the books and the frying pan.
Absolutely.
Okay, those sound good.
Okay. So, books, folks. All right, as mentioned earlier by that tweet, which randomly I don't have the book picture either. But this was the tweet anyway. A bludgeoning weapon. Where are we ranking books? This is the same picture, isn't it? Actually, now I've looked at it. It is the same picture. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Do we have a suggestion?
Pretty heavy. That will, like, if you just somebody pops up on you randomly and you're just like, you can jab, you can smack. Like, it's a very versatile weapon.
Shield.
You can throw it.
How many stories are there from like people getting bullets stopped by books in their pockets?
I think Mythbusters actually did that, and it like successfully stopped like a certain depth of pages stopped bullet.
Yeah, and Gnome Garden says books are not just for bludgeoning. Knowledge is power.
Yeah,
double whammy weapon. Okay.
Yep.
I want to go for. I want to throw it in A tier person.
I was thinking B tier for books.
B tier.
I would say A tier.
I think A tier.
Okay.
Bottom of the A tier.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, ladies and gents, the frying pan. Where are we putting the frying pan?
Oh. It's tricky because I love Leigh-A and her frying pan, but I'm just not ripped like her. So I don't think it would be as effective if someone like me tried to.
It's heavy. I'm not gonna lie, like the gift that Rob just showed was a much smaller pan than I'm exhibiting right now, and yeah, no,
And Leigh-A also does it in our Foley video as well.
Towards the camera as aggressively because I probably would break my entire freaking but I could heft it quite handily. I think I would want a longer handle, but a general frying pan is not meant for like you're not two-handing it. So like I would put this on the weight of a hammer, and so a war hammer of some sort. We've had previous discussions about hammers, so go back to whatever that episode is. But yeah.
So I'm hearing like a B.
I would say C actually because you can't really effectively two-hand it.
Okay.
And you really can't, like, you cannot one-hand this.
And you have to surprise the person. Literally only bludgeoning damage.
You could block something on it, but like again, like just the smash effect is. Also, it's not stabbing, so
that's true.
Beth has a frying pan as her melee weapon in a video game right now.
Nice.
Melindhra is talking about double fisting the frying pan, obviously.
As one does.
Ogier saying from Skeeter, don't go putting a long handle on your pan. So, and Kata Melon, you can also poison a lot of people with a pan and a little time. I don't know about you, Kata Melon. It takes me no time to people with a pan if I really decide to. So,
that's terrifying. Shelly, I'm gonna come cook for you.
People keep cleaning supplies in their kitchen. It doesn't take much to work that out. So,
I mean, anyway. That's called a bomb.
That's why it didn't take no time.
That's not what we're talking about right now.
Although we missed Legion's dragons. There's so many more weapons we can do, guys.
Anyone can kill with a spear. Much G to kill with the frying pan.
Yeah, tell us in the chat what weapons we missed that you wish we would have ranked. Because maybe we'll do another one of these if you guys enjoyed it.
Yes.
And tell us what we got wrong and what we got right.
Yeah. And also, kudos to absolutely no one in chat for noticing, although I'm pretty sure Bain&Chiad smirked when I did it, for not noticing that I may have put something in the D column. So,
you did.
I love Leigh-A right now. Like,
well, you put the sword down there where it belongs.
Yeah. We finally convinced him.
Just in the middle of conversation, it was there. And in the middle of conversation, we were chatting, we were talking away, and I just went, just moved it down.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's it from us today, because otherwise we're going to be here all night. And as much fun as that is, you know, people have work and I have sleep to get at some point. So fun show, everyone. I really liked it. So it was a fun way to finish up my final recording in this space. So
yay, ramen rattle for
thank you.
Cheers to the apartment. We'll miss you.
Yes.
Yeah. Goodbye, Rob's apartment.
Good riddance.
Good riddance. Nice.
We should do like a really sad compilation video of just pictures of Rob's wall.
No.
Singing like Sarah McLachlan in the back.
All right, Shelly, we'll get with the NOS. We'll get with the NOS and work on that.
Now that's an interesting segue, because I was going to mention, folks, that once you've gotten your tickets to come see Malkier, which is now closing in like 14 hours or something crazy, the following Thursday night, Thursday the 15th of September, is our 1 year anniversary show, which is going to be a lot of fun. We're all taking the Friday off work, and we all need to, I think, unless we're all prepared to go to work very tired and sleepy.
Yeah, we haven't figured out if we're doing it that night or the next day.
What do you mean?
The show that I've got planned for us.
Oh, that one. Oh no, we can't do. We're not doing that one that night. No, it's just our 1 year party.
Oh,
yeah. So
we have plans. We need to figure out how we're going to operationalize those plans.
yes,
Give us time, but be aware we do have a 1-year thing coming up. And in the meantime, you guys should join our Discord, like the video, subscribe, follow us on Twitter, do all the things.
yes.
Do all the steps.
And check out our merch because we have merch. I see new people in the chat, so I figure we should plug.
Oh, if new people in chat, I know it's kind of late. You do a wave emoji if you're new. We'll
Silvertooth's going to call in sick for the next day. So
Yes, that's why he's Chief Foldy.
yes.
While we're telling people to do stuff, I would also like to ask people to send us some questions for Ask a Wise One.
Yes.
We really would love to do that segment. It's one of our favorites. So if you have any life advice that you need, send us a DM and we'll answer it on our show.
Yeah, and you can send
There
it
you
to Rob if you want it to be completely private, or me. We won't share who it is unless you
Yes.
tell us. And just so those of you who aren't familiar with Ask a Wise One, it's a segment where we answer real-life problems with Aiel advice. So, like I said in my thing, someone keeps stealing my lunch, my wife wants a dog and I don't, my sister said something mean to me. Give us a real-life scenario and we'll tell you how to address it.
And
And there's also been very personal questions as well.
Mhm.
We're trying to stay fun and skirt, but any questions.
We'll give them a shot.
Yes. Once I will wait for it to pop into StreamYard so I can bring up on screen. To Grade apparently needs advice.
Oh.
So send it in and we'll do that to Grade. So but yeah. All right. That's it for the show, folks. So thank you so much for joining us. And I won't see you next week because I'm moving. But the ladies will see you next week and I will try to be in chat. So until then, may you always find water and shade. Bye.
Bye.